I'm Mary Lee Deal. I think I know like almost everybody in this room. So I won't really reintroduce myself. But I just wanted to thank you for being here, and I'm going to turn the panel over to Eric Owens. He's the local SAG-AFTRA president, so someone that you definitely want to be familiar with. And he is going to be moderating our panel today, so I'm going to let him actually introduce our guests, and I will get out of the way, and I will
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So I have the privilege of moderating this wonderful panel with these three women that work here in Atlanta, talent agents. So as much as Mary Emily thinks you should get to know me, you should probably get to know them a lot too. I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll give you some questions. So why don't we start out with Carol?
Hi everyone, thanks for coming out today. It's nice to be here. My name is Carol Shaganall, and my agency is Carol Shaganall Talent Agency based here in Atlanta. I've been in the industry for about 15 years, wearing multiple hats, but my latest role here over the last 7 or 8 has been that of a talent agent. And we're based in the Southeast, that includes from New Orleans all the way up Kentucky, Louisiana, over to the Carolinas, down to Florida. A SAG-AFTRA talent agency, as we all are. That's an important thing for you all to look for in your journey. And, I'm excited to be here, answer your questions, and see your work. Thanks, Ray.
Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Hummel. I'm a film and television agent with People Store Talent Agency. We're based here in Atlanta. We've been here for over 40 years. And we work on a nationwide level as well. So the Southeast has been our bread and butter for a really long time, but we've been really working hard over the last few years to make relationships in LA and New York as well. I also work in the voiceover space, so I book our actors on animation, video games, podcasts, those things as well. And lately, this past year, my career has taken me in the direction of becoming the head of emerging talent. So I now work with kids and young adults and focus on growing their careers and helping them through the early stage of their career to start gaining credits and making waves in the industry.
Hey there, my name is Jared Avery with the Avery Agency, owned by my sister. The Avery Agency used to be Avery Sisters, or some of you looked up that kind of a thing. We've been here for about 20 years. Full service agency, television, film, voiceover, print, and what am I missing? Commercials, that kind of thing. So we kind of do it all. We also help emerging talent, get their foot in the door and so forth and so on. Because we're a boutique agency and we can do that, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they can too, because I think she'll explain it to you. She'll tell you. But yeah, we all have like kind of boutique sensibilities and things going on. But we're definitely a boutique agency, so we have no problems in developing and helping you along, that kind of thing, sort of. So you know what I mean? If you get to a certain point, then we'll help you out once you pass the test, that kind of thing. But yeah, Jared.
Yeah, Carol. All right, cool. So today's panel is entitled "Everything You Need to Know About Agents." And so why don't we just start from the beginning. Carol, if you would start by just saying, what exactly does a talent agent do, and how does your role differ from, say, a manager or a casting director?
Okay. Very different roles. There is no such word as a casting agent. We hear that interchange a lot. So you have a talent agent and a casting director, and then of course a talent manager also as well, optional. But as an agent, we are searching for jobs, if you can just see it that way. Jobs are your projects, jobs are your roles that you are booking. So we consistently are searching for those projects or those roles for you. And then, in addition to that, the word you heard, emerging talent. So we will also help guide you in your career. Now, we see a lot of crossover with that between an agent and a manager. A manager really dives in to that, but as agents, we also do that. But what you're really looking for from your agent is submissions on projects to secure those goals. Now, of course, it's up to you and your talent and your performance ability and your business mindset for you to book those roles. So your agent's not going to book those for you, but we provide those opportunities. And that's what we do.
Great.
Ladies.
Yes.
Jennifer, let me ask you this. How has the rise, I mean, as we all know, like, the entertainment industry has really just kind of boomed here in Atlanta since 2008, the tax incentives were put to effect. Jennifer, how has the rise of Atlanta as a filming hub affected opportunities for local talent?
It's been wonderful for local talent. I've been at People's Store for 8 years now, and so I've really gotten to see a huge change since I started at the agency in 2016, to where I remember when I first started, a lot of people saw our market as a local market, right? So actors had great opportunities for small roles on the productions based here. But I think in a lot of ways, our actors were still looked on as maybe lesser than the LA and New York markets. But over the years, I think our talent has really proven itself to work on that national level. And so, when you're looking at productions that shoot here, I would say the majority of guest stars that I'm seeing, recurring roles that I'm seeing, are the talent based here in the Southeast. And that's been a huge change from even just when I started. To where, at People's Store, we have series regulars that are coming from our markets and working in LA, working in New York, working in Canada, and it never used to be that way, or at least it was very, very rare. So it's been a huge shift, and I think really exciting for you guys because you are, walking into this market that has opened up so much the way it used to be.
And Carol, Jared, do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, being here as long in this market as long as I have been, I was here before the tax credit and all that good stuff. So it was a whole situation, and that there was no TV services, there was no Zoom, there was none of that stuff. So we all had to kind of figure it out for ourselves. Casting directors, things weren't like automatically posted on Actors Access and Breakdown Services. You had to be invited. All that kind of stuff was like a little bit more of a closed-knit situation. Like you had to do things the old-fashioned way and set muffins and dinner and all that other stuff. To try to, you know what I mean? To try to bribe people, right? To bribe people half to death. But it's like, once the tax credit came and then you got your first taping service, which was Get Taped. All that was going on and so forth and so on. Yes, to speak to the roles, that he wasn't a whole lot, of course, everybody used to get really pissed off. We still get pissed off, but everybody used to get really pissed off because LA and New York actors were kind of like, flown in and this and that and the third. So like she said, it's like, now more of our actors in the Southeast, homegrown in the Southeast, are now taking, actually getting booked on these things. And I'll tell you how crazy it is. It's like the first few times that happened, the producers, they were like, they booked my client or whatever, but they constantly kept thinking she was from LA. So they kept trying to give her miles. They kept trying to give her a movie, this and that. Oh, she's going to give her some extra money. I said, she lives in Atlanta. I already had to say it like 5-6 times. So yeah, it's totally different.
Carol?
My experience when I got into the industry 15 years ago, I worked for a studio, and that is actually how I met Jira. And we would train and develop actors from there. When actors became a certain level of competition or ability to work, we would see them, move off to New York and move off to LA. And then over time, we saw that shift where someone could live here in Atlanta and have a viable acting career and compete with these other markets. So I think one of you said you're in it at the right time. You came in, you're seeing all the work that's been laid before you with the tax credits. We started the self-tape industry here in our market. Now the rest of the world has jumped on board because of COVID. No one in the other markets even knew how to do a taped audition pretty much prior to COVID.
They were awful.
And it was
Yeah.
interesting to see how terrible these other markets were, yet they thought so much of themselves compared to us here in Atlanta. And so we kind of showed them a few things, and told them, well, this is really how it works. Do it this way, and it's a lot better. So, I would add to this, if you're not comfortable with taped auditions yet, self-taping, get comfortable. Make that a number one task on your to-do list.
So I think you all would agree that Atlanta is a great place to have a career in this industry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Almost to the extreme that what Carol had said was like, it's reversed. People used to move
Now they're-
to LA and New York, and now they're all coming here.
We get emails
Every day.
every single day
Malls,
of an
LA,
actor
New York.
saying, telling us their story, saying, I just moved here from LA, I just moved here from New York, I'm looking for more opportunities.
Yeah.
And then I've got like people from LA that's been signed with me for a while, LA, New York talent. Now a lot of them have moved to Atlanta, which is awesome. A lot of them moved here, and I'll be there in a month, I'll be there in so-and-so, you know what I mean? It's just been a great thing, you know what I mean? Having to have to do the logistics and like maneuver them in these other, markets, but now they're here,
And it's a great place to build a resume as
Very
well.
much so, and that's what I say, like, when she said working with like other agencies or working with in larger markets, it's great for us because we help the resume, so we help the people in New York and LA, you know what I mean? So they love us.
Crushing it here.
You
Crushing
all
it.
have an advantage, you're right here in the heart of the city.
Yeah, you are.
Our university offering this type of event. This doesn't happen every year. So you're in at the right place, right time.
Right. So Jared, I'm gonna send this question to you, and then I think it'd be important to hear from both of you as well. So you start, and then whoever wants to chime in, chime in. What trends are you currently seeing in the Atlanta entertainment market, or the entertainment market in general? And how do they impact the types of talent being sought after at your agency?
Okay, so it's like in the beginning, there was more Caucasian, there was more of a need for Caucasian actors. But, with things that have gone down and, the Black Lives Matter, and then, people that were, giving advertising dollars to certain companies and so forth and so on. I mean, you can see the trends yourself if you look at TV, if you look at films, more, Black stories, more Indian stories, more Spanish stories, more whatever that's like outside of, white, those things are being told a lot more. And then commercials, you see a lot of diverse families, a lot of interracial families, you see men on men, women on women, you know what I'm saying? So that's everywhere now. It's so allowed and it's so exciting to see that. So that is like a huge trend that I think is just, melts my heart every time I see that stuff, because it's just like, it wasn't like that before. And then sometimes you gotta check in on your white talent, be like, y'all all right? But you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's like, there's so much, going on. I mean, everything's gonna kind of taper down and even out eventually, but it's just been, it's just been such a pleasure to see all of that happening. I love it.
And is that affecting how you go out
Oh,
and search
yeah.
for talent?
Oh, for sure. I mean, all of us are looking for, what were we talking about the other day, the transgender? All of us are looking for those types. All of us are looking for, people who don't mind, actually, being in lesbian relationships or gay relationships on camera, because that happens all the time now. There's, a lot of, so yes, so when we look for actors now, we're looking for differences in diversity and so forth and so on. Of course, we're still signing, Caucasian talent, but it's a lot more. It's because the industry is making us sign for it. It's our industry is kind of making us kind of go after these actors. So.
One
Yep,
thing I
please.
would